Organize Me Radio, Episode 9, Staying Organized After Becoming a Parent. I'm Naeemah Ford Goldson. Welcome to Organize Me Radio. I'm here with Naomi Kyalo, and she is the owner of Thrive in Order. Naomi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Naeemah.
So tell us a little bit about your business, Thrive in Order.
My name is Naomi Kyalo, and I'm a wife and a mother, and I'm the owner and operator of Thrive in Order, which is an organizing business. I've been in business since 2016, even though part-time. I wear other hats too. I work other jobs too. And a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya. So I moved here when I was 21 years old. So pretty much my earlier life was spent in Kenya. I owe my organizing skills to how we were brought up. In where I come from in Kenya, people don't really have a lot of stuff to start with, so
they're minimalists in Kenya.
Yeah, okay. By nature, naturally. So I mean, you just don't have people are not spoiled, like, you don't have the money or access to too many things, so people have less stuff generally. And in my family, my parents were very organized, very neat, and so we just picked up on that, and that's just the way we grew up. And at first I didn't know it was a thing, but growing up and meeting people and just being out there, I realized I have very strong organizational skills, hence how I ended up in professional organizing.
Okay, so Naomi had a baby almost a year ago. And so today we're talking about staying organized after becoming a parent. So Naomi, tell everyone about your little girl and tell us what she's like.
Her name is Shaliz Njeri. She's about to turn 1, as Naeemah said. Wow, what
is she a busybody?
Where do I start? She is a really free spirit, very busybody, yes, very, it's not, sometimes I call it nosy, but it's really inquisitive. She wants to know what's happening.
Oh, smart little girl.
Yes, what's happening all around her. And she just started walking too, which we're excited about. And she's a good baby. She makes motherhood a little easy, I can say.
Oh, that's good to hear. So since she's walking around, is she getting into everything?
Oh, you bet. You bet. So, yeah, I have had to keep moving things around, which is part of organizing. Every stage comes with its own different challenges as the baby grows up. So you have to keep adjusting as the baby, grows. So, yeah.
So what has been your biggest challenge since becoming a mom?
I would say just the mindset, adjusting from, being all about yourself. Now you have to think about, the baby. There's another human who your life revolves around. Mm-hmm. So all the plans, all decisions, you have to think, how is it going to affect the child? Or, let's say before I would just wake up and, you're ready to go out. But now you have to take minutes to prepare. You think about what's the baby going to eat, what's this, that, the other. So just that adjusting into motherhood. And another challenge, I would say, just not being able to work as much as I would love to, because childcare is not cheap.
Oh, right. Oh my goodness, girl.
Yeah, so somehow you have to kind of balance. So that's a challenge. But I mean, motherhood is the best job ever for me so far. I can say that it's a joy. So it makes it easy.
Yeah, I can definitely relate with the not being able to work thing, because when I had Ethan, who's my oldest, who's 8 years old now, he was breastfed. He was strictly breastfed. He would not take a bottle. So I was the only person who could, it was brutal, who could feed him. Like, I was the only one. So, like, if we went out to a restaurant, you know, I was always nursing him.
Right.
And then when it was time for me to eat my food, it was always cold. And then Eric's, like, trying to rush us out the restaurant and everything. So I completely understand. And because of that, I couldn't go back to work, you know, after my maternity leave. So I completely understand. Like, kids just completely change up your entire life. Like, all the plans you thought that you had, you know, when you're going to have kids and all this stuff, no. Forget what your plans are.
Forget it. Every day is different. You just have to wait and see how every day turns out. Just take every day at a time with the babies. You just can't expect too much.
I know that's right.
Yes.
So do you see any differences in how you organize around the house since having your little girl?
Oh yes. I've had to move things around 1,000 times. So we have to make it, you know, safe for the baby at all stages. So it definitely, a baby definitely affects the way I've been organizing my home. I've been definitely more intentional when it comes to, you know, where things are, and just making sure things run smooth for everybody. And sometimes I have somebody, you know, like a babysitter come to the home. So I have to ensure, you know, everything is where it needs to be, so that the whole process is as smooth as it can be.
So then, what is your process like?
My process, first things first, you need to have a home for everything. That makes it easy. And for me, less stuff. I'm not really extravagant when it comes to baby clothes, shopping, you know, for things for the baby, because first of all, for clothes and shoes, they grow out of them in seconds.
Oh, they sure do.
And some of the toys you buy, they don't care for them. They want to play with just normal house things. So definitely less stuff for me. I also purge often. Make sure I get rid of what's no longer needed, or put it away, you know, or give it out. I also have a routine. Go by routines a whole lot. Like, for example, laundry Fridays. We do maybe meal prep, you know, on Sundays. Just have kind of a routine and plan your duties out. I do a lot of online shopping too. It saves me time.
Ooh, I love online shopping. Especially when you have kids, you don't have to take them to the store, and you don't have to worry about them running around or being loud, yelling. And
true. And you can, when you're doing online shopping, it's easier for you to, you know, when you think of something, just make a list, or these days you can just order it there and then. You don't forget. So it makes it efficient, and also a lot of self-care. Definitely, we cannot not talk about self-care.
What are some things you do for self-care?
Sleep.
Oh my God! Especially that first year, you need that sleep.
Yes, when I get help, I definitely try to schedule time for sleeping. I like to hang out with, you know, a girlfriend once in a while. I do a lot of just reading and YouTube videos, just entertain myself in between, you know, childcare. And because
that's so important, because I think a lot of times as moms, we worry so much about our kids and we don't think about ourselves. And I know I was so guilty of that. I'm just now getting into like the self-care mode, you know, like it's just crazy. And it's good that you started early on, because you won't be as burnt out, you know?
True.
Has having your daughter changed your approach to organizing when it comes to dealing with clients?
I would say yes, especially if it's clients with children. Definitely now I approach it a bit differently because once you experience it yourself, it just changes your mind a little bit on how to do some things, how to where things go, and it makes you a better organizer when it comes to dealing with parents or people with children, for sure.
Oh, I agree completely.
Yes, because you see what happens in your home, so you're able to be more empathetic and just understand others, system, other people's ways and thinking better compared to before children, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I'm thinking about like before I had kids, and I'd go into people's houses who had kids, and their houses would be a mess, and I'm like, why?
Exactly.
Why is it a mess? I don't understand.
Now we get it.
Right, you get it. Like kids will have
cut
stuff
them some slack
thrown around, and so yeah, boy, do I understand. It was like so mind blowing for me.
Yes, definitely.
So how were you able to prepare for your baby?
Okay, preparing for my baby. One thing, this is crazy, but I did not want to know the sex of the baby because part of it was because I had a feeling when you know the sex of the child, you're bound to do more shopping than you need to. So that was one of the ways for me to just, not buy a lot of stuff, and also for relatives and friends, they hear you're having a girl, and every little thing they see at the store, they want to buy it. So that helped a lot because, you keep the shopping to a minimum. I did the online shopping lists like on Amazon. I had a list of everything. I had a few friends help me out on coming up with a list of what I needed for the baby. And when you have it in one place, when you purchase something, you tick it, that's bought, and that made it much easier. I knew what I had, I knew what I needed to, what still needed to be bought and things like that. And I also really was very open to hand-me-downs from friends. That they know what's more functional for the child and things like that, so you don't have to go buying all these things and end up not using them. So that's how I prepared for the baby.
And how important do you think childproofing is, especially in terms of organization?
Oh, it's a big deal. I think it's a whole niche, I can say. When you have a child in the home, definitely childproofing it's very crucial. So in terms of organization, you have to know, you have to be intentional about where you put things and how things are laying around in your house. Like for me, I have to keep checking every now and then. I'm checking the drawers that are accessible, what's in them, and moving things around all the time. It's not a one-time job. You just have to keep doing it as time goes. Like the other day, I thought I'd moved things farther enough, but next thing, her hands were right there pulling down everything. I'm like, okay, we have to rearrange this. We have to move things around. So definitely organization plays a big role when it comes to childproofing. And the more organized you are, the easier it should be, Like sometimes, I know where everything is and I know every corner, so I can just relax. I don't have to worry every 2 minutes where the baby is, what's the baby getting into. I mean, of course, within reason, but you don't have to live in that stressful. Every 2 minutes you have to tell the child, stop, move, So
Right.
when you're organized, it definitely makes it easier for everybody in the home.
I remember when Ethan was probably like maybe he started walking at 9 months, so I think he was maybe like he was 8 or 9 months, I don't know, but we had a bookcase and he would just pull everything off, so we had to move everything up to the top 2 shelves. So we had the bottom completely bare, nothing on the bottom, and then the top just a couple of things up there, which isn't great in terms of like design aesthetic or anything like that. But that's how someone has kids, right?
Exactly.
So, what are your top tips to help new moms with staying organized?
The tips, I would say, my top tips for moms for getting organized is less is more. Start with less is more. Just try to have less stuff. Purge often, babies outgrow things all the time, so make sure you keep up with that and get rid of everything and anything that's no longer needed, so you create a room for what you need, and definitely a home for everything. When everything has a home, then there's small room for clutter, and where everything is, and things run more smoothly for you and the baby and all the caregivers, and makes life easier. I would say those are 3 top tips for staying organized for mothers.
What would you recommend for moms who feel like they just don't have enough time to get everything done?
That's all of us, ain't it?
Right. There are just not enough hours in the day.
Right. That's what it feels like almost every day. But I would say for me, what has worked most so far is definitely planning. You have to do some kind of planning, if it's for the day or for the week. Have some kind of plan in the way, plan your day out. I would say delegate or outsource some of your tasks. You cannot do everything for sure, and so go through your chores and duties and see what you can, if you need to maybe pay somebody for it, or somebody else can do some things, then that definitely helps. That's where we come in. You can hire an organizer too, and or whatever kind of help you need, definitely be open to getting help.
I think that's important, like delegate. Like we are not, I know we want to be super women.
Yes, you want
but
to
we're
not.
we can't do it all. We don't have to do it all.
We don't have to. That's the main thing. So definitely help where you can. Don't just take it all in by yourself, and just know that all mothers are kind of going through the same thing. You're not alone.
That's right.
Give yourself credit, some credit. We don't give ourselves enough credit for sure. So give yourself credit and cheer yourself on.
So how can everyone find out more information about you?
Okay, my business name is Thrive in Order. You can find me on Facebook for sure, and thriveinorder.com, and either one of those you can you'd be able to reach me. Send me an email on Naomi W Kyalo. That's Naomi WKYALO @gmail.com.
Naomi, thank you so much for joining us and telling us about your little girl and how motherhood has been treating you so far.
Thank you so much, Naeemah, for having me and for everything you're doing. I definitely appreciate being on your podcast, and I truly admire everything that you're doing, and you're definitely one of my role models in this industry.
Oh, thank you. I love having you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and be sure to join us next time for an all-new episode of Organize Me Radio. Make sure to follow me on all social media platforms. You're listening to Organize Me Radio. I'm Naeemah Ford Goldson.